the centre of Birmingham, especially this part of Birmingham, which is the old Digbeth, which is the original Birmingham was Digbeth. Yeah.
How many musicals have you written?
Well, I've lost count now, you know. Quite a few.
Quite a few.
About 10.
Have you had a chance to perform any of them yet?
Not really. I'm looking for a nice little venue, you know, where we can, because they're educational as well as entertaining, and that humorous.
I sing and write about Shakespeare, well he's the greatest man I am. That's why they call me the bard of Bourneville, Birmingham. And even in my old school days, well I used to read Charles Lamb. That's why they call me the bard of Bourneville, Birmingham. I go to...
Now, John, I get the impression that Shakespeare is quite an important part of your life. Is that right?
He's all my life.
Now, tell me, this is the exhibition that you're setting up, isn't it?
That's right.
Tell me about your special connection with Shakespeare.
Well, my look-alike ancestor's portrait, William Sly, and William Shakespeare, William Sly, may or may not be the real William Shakespeare.
Why do you think he might be?
Well, there's lots of reasons. That's why I had the exhibition, because it'll explain everything. Because people ask me every day my connection with Shakespeare, and with the exhibition, it's educational for children, and it's educational for everybody really in Birmingham, and it saves a lot of talking because it takes a lot of explaining.
William Sly lived at about the same time, didn't he, as Shakespeare?
He was born the same year as Shakespeare, and there was a mystery as to how he died. But I believe he died in this area in Birmingham.
But his portrait,
yes,
which looks very much like you, uncanny look-alike,
yes,
of William Sly, is
yes,
actually in Shakespeare's daughter's house, isn't it?
That's right, yes, yes.
So there's
yes.
quite a few strong connections.
Oh, there's a big connection there. There's actually in Shakespeare's daughter's house, plus the fact that Christopher Sly went poaching with William Shakespeare in Chalkett Park, and as I say, Christopher Sly lived at Shakespeare's auntie's house, who was Shakespeare's Auntie Sly.
So how did you know about this story in the first place? Has this been carried down by your father and your grandfather?
Carried on through the family, through the ages, and it's I love anything to do with Shakespeare or to do with acting or the theatre.
I'm acting to act, I want to start, because I got Shakespeare on my mind, and Birmingham in my heart. Look in the actors' papers, you'll find me in the bar, because I got Shakespeare on my mind, and Birmingham in my heart.
Shakespeare in his early days, he was in Birmingham apparently, and his early plays were performed at Bourneville, at the old barns, and there used to be an old sign outside for years and years, many years. Shakespeare performed his early plays here, so he was living in the area, and he actually lived at the old barns in Bourneville, and which is then Kings Norton, and Kings Norton is the very old Birmingham. Kings Norton was here before Birmingham. And
so everybody associates Shakespeare with Stratford, don't they? But in fact, we've got a lot here to shout about.
Well,
right here
it's
in Birmingham.
associated with the Midlands, really, on the whole, Warwickshire. But his early days were more associated with Birmingham, because he always had two names, Sly and Shakespeare. So he was sort of Sly in Birmingham and Shakespeare in Stratford. He had two houses, two wives, two faces, two names.
Have you had
two
anybody disagreeing with you about this?
Well, probably, yes.
Have you had people sort of knocking on your door and saying, stop spreading these rumours about Shakespeare, it's not true?
Well, not really, no. I mean, I just sort of, research things first, and things seem to fit in, you know.
So has you've got a few more years researching yet, do you think? You're going to find out lots more information?
Yeah, it's more...
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy.
William Shakespeare is revered by many as history's most influential literary figure. Last year he received the honour of being voted Personality of the Millennium, almost 400 years after his death. John William Sly is proprietor of Sparky's Magic Piano Shop in Digbeth, Birmingham. He claims to have unique ancestral links with the great bard and some interesting new theories on his life.
It's always been handed down that we're related to William Sly, who was the real William Shakespeare. And I've always had a feeling of belonging, especially in Digbeth. I mean, if you was going to say where Shakespeare lived, whether it was Stratford, London, Birmingham or Digbeth, you know, the one word that has a connection with Shakespeare is Beth, Macbeth, Digbeth. And we've done an exhibition on Shakespeare and my family and Birmingham, and it's open to the public, and we've had quite a lot of people sign the book that they agree with the exhibition, which is about William Sly, who was the real William Shakespeare. Well, it's in your genes. And of course the portrait, when I look at the portrait, and when people look at the portrait of my ancestor William Sly, who was the real William Shakespeare, everybody, more or less, says that it's an absolute double. And when I look at it, in your genes, you just know in your genes and everything, you just know that that is a portrait of you, or in another life, or of your ancestor. The bone structure is the same, especially around the eyes, and the mouth is very similar, and the lips are very similar, and that's by experts. That's because I'm not expert on anatomy, but experts have come to that conclusion that the bone structure is the same. Shakespeare's signature in 1612 in the Records Office reads, Shakespeare's signature reads, everybody agrees with me on this, you know, that it looks like Sparky, but which is rather puzzling, you know, which gives more backing to the signature and the exhibition, gives it more interest. It's an exhibition I put on and I enjoy, and if people believe, that's up to them, you know. I believe, and everybody that's been in the exhibition believes, but we'll probably get one out of thousands eventually, you know. You always do, perhaps, you know. Well, it's when you're indoctrinated and you've been taught a certain thing has happened in history, which is controlled by the whoever's in charge of the country, because they make the history books, not the ordinary people.